You know that sinking feeling you get when you realize a student's essay sounds suspiciously polished? Or when you catch them asking ChatGPT to write my history report about the Civil War 5 minutes before class? You're not alone in this struggle. Middle school teachers everywhere around the world grappling with this same reality. Your students are already using AI. They're just doing it in secret without guidance and often in ways that undermine their actual learning. Here's the frustrating part. You know you should be teaching them better ways to engage with these tools, but nobody's giving you a roadmap for how to do that responsibly. Meanwhile, you've been receiving mixed messages about whether to embrace an AI or ban it entirely. Now comes the pressure. The July 2025 DOE guidance has made it crystal clear that educators must receive formal training by the fall to teach AI literacy, critical evaluation, and ethical integration across subjects. Translation? You can't just block AI use anymore. You need to teach it responsibly and you need to do it with confidence. You may now feel caught between impossible expectations, students who think AI is magic and adults who think it's evil. Meanwhile, you're trying to figure out how to help 12-year-olds develop critical thinking skills about technology they use more than you do. But here's what I have discovered working with middle school educators. You already have the most essential skill for teaching AI literacy. You know how to help them question assumptions, think critically, and make better choices. Now, let me show you what that responsible AI education actually looks like in your middle school classroom. You can have students engage in an activity called same prompt but different output. You give students a standard prompt like explain recycling and run it through two different AI models. You want them to identify the differences. Then you want them to choose which explanation is clearer. Where is there nuance? Is it missing? What biases or gaps appear? Now, suddenly, your students aren't passive consumers, they're critical evaluators developing the transparency and evaluation skills the federal guidance demands. A second activity you can have students engage in, like Prompt Like a Pro, where students discover how small changes in wording yield dramatically different outputs. For example, explain gravity for a sixth grader versus explain gravity using a sports example. Watch their faces when they realize AI only works well. Think about it clearly first. You're not just teaching technology, you are reinforcing that their thinking skills matter more than ever. Here's what this approach does. It transforms students from mindless AI users into thoughtful collaborators. So instead of asking AI to think for them, they learn to think with it. Instead of copying whatever it produces, they learn to critique, revise, and improve its output. Now, I know what you're thinking. This sounds great in theory, but how do I make sure they're actually being ethical about it? That's where tools like an AI use log can come in, where students document their prompts, their changes, and their reasoning, not as busy work, but as a reflection that maps directly onto the federal guidance's emphasis on ethical principles and transparency. I know your reality. It includes managing differentiated instruction for over 100 students, navigating the social drama that defines middle schoolers, and trying to prepare them at the same time for high school and state exams. The last thing you feel like you need right now is another initiative that feels disconnected from your actual teaching. And because of that, I have developed a Teaching with AI Confidence Playbook, which is going to be released in September 2025. This book is for middle school educators just like you. I don't have abstract lessons in there. I have practical strategies that strengthen the critical thinking skills your students need for every subject that you teach. You get engaging activities that actually work with adolescents, templates that guide meaningful discussions, journal prompts that help students process these big ideas, and teacher facing talking points that align with the federal training mandates. Everything is designed to help you meet these new requirements with clarity instead of confusion. You chose this age group because you know these years are pivotal. You understand that what students learn about questioning sources, evaluating information, and making ethical choices now will shape how they navigate an increasingly complex world. AI literacy isn't separate from that mission, it's central to it. And you are uniquely positioned to guide them through it because you already know how to help young people develop the judgment they'll need for life. This isn't guesswork anymore. It's how you bring AI literacy into your classroom boldly, responsibly, and with the confidence that comes from having a clear plan that actually works. Your students are going to use AI whether we teach it to them or not. And the question is, will they use it thoughtlessly or will they use it as a tool for deeper thinking? With your guidance, I know which path they'll choose.